Hey everybody, today I am going to show you how to use a tea kettle.
Here is the tea kettle that we will be working with. The tea kettle was invented in 1891 by the Carpenter Electric Company.
Before we get started, we are going to need some materials, which include a tea kettle, number one. All tea kettles are essentially the same, so it does not matter which kind you have. The second item we will need is a stove. We will also need some water, a tea bag of whatever flavor you choose, as well as a mug.
There are some important safety concerns to be considered when using the tea kettle. You will be using a hot surface, so it's very important to make sure you are at a safe distance and you are being very responsible around the stove.
So the steps for completing the use of a tea kettle are fairly simple. The first step is to fill the tea kettle with however much water you are planning on using. The second step is to turn the stove on to a medium heat. You don't need it any higher than that. The third step will be to place the tea kettle on the stove for about 5 minutes. The fourth step is when the steam occurs, which will be demonstrated later for you in the video. That is when you will take the kettle off of the stove. Like I said, about 5 minutes. And then the last step is just to pour water into a mug and add a tea bag.
So you can either use a faucet or you could use a cup and pour the cup with water into the tea kettle, whichever works for you the best. So now you want to move on to step 2, which is setting the stove to a medium heat. Now we want to put the lid onto our tea kettle and place the tea kettle onto the stove so that the water can heat up and be ready for our tea. You will know when the water is almost ready because you will hear the steam inside. So now you know the tea kettle is done because you can see the steam coming out. So now you need to take the tea off of the hot stove and put it on a place still on the stove that's not hot. So now it is ready to get your tea bags. So you're gonna grab your tea kettle, flip this portion up so that you can pour some water. Be very careful during this step because you are dealing with hot water. And now you pour. Today we are making a hot cinnamon sunset tea. So that the last step, you just take your tea bag and drop it in the hot water. Let it steep for a couple minutes, and then you are good to go.